This is Cypress Lawn Cemetery in Colma, California. I'm at another great, awesome cemetery. Just driving in here, I'm seeing some of these structures already, and they look pretty insane. As you can see ahead, that's an interesting one. This one right here, this is really, really awesome. Wow. Oh, wow. So, families of Henry A. Lyons and Richard S. Floyd. And it looks like they are underneath the floor. There's a floor panel here that has little rings on it, so I'm sure that comes up. And they're underneath this whole thing. It's taken on a little bit of water, it looks like, in here. I don't know if the actual underneath, the grave underneath is flooded or what's going on. Interesting right here, it's in the side of the hill. Another one of these. I love these that are built into the sides of the hills. This is insane. Wow. Oh boy. Yeah. God, I can't even see it. There's names. I can't even, there's no years though. It's weird. There's names on these placards, but there's no year. But look at all this overgrowth in here. This is insane. This other one right here. It's hard to read from here, all these inscriptions, but it's like born 1857, died 1912. Joseph Steffens. Wow, and some of these are empty still. This one's hidden over here. Wow. There's only 2 people in this one, and they both, one died in Mary Ellen, wife of James William Jesse, died in 1912. It says November 8th, 1912. And then James William Jesse died November 3rd, 1926. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 vacant ones in here. I don't know if you remember one of my vlogs from last week where I was at the wall on the other side of the other cemetery is over the wall, and I was seeing the back side of this one, and I wanted to come over and look at it. This thing looks insane. Jeez. Man, look at this thing. I mean, it's hard to see in here. There's like wood. I don't know if the wood support beams in here or what this is. Maybe it was falling apart, so they put some support beams in here to keep it from crumbling. I don't know. It looks like they're working on it though. And unfortunately, so I'm looking at it from this angle. Those support beams that were inside, I think, were erected in there to keep this thing from falling apart or crumbling down more because it is so old. Because the top, you can see where there's like a bunch of pieces crumbling off the top, and I think there's gargoyles on the sides that have lost their heads. I think there are gargoyles hanging off the sides of this too. Very interesting construction. Yeah, that's a gargoyle. There's 2 of them on the fronts, and it looks like they're crumbling. They lost their heads. One of the dates I saw in here was 1850 something. I think these were gargoyles out here on this thing. This thing is awesome. 1859 was one of the dates that I could see around the wooden support beams they had put up in there. Or on the back side of this thing now. This was the main person that was buried in the back of this thing. This is their burial chamber, I'm sure, right here. This one right here is Howard. Looks like somebody had planted some flowers here. Very interesting. Big old family. Let's see here. Wow. This one is one of the nicest ones I've seen. It's hard to tell through this glass because I can't go up against the glass with it. But this is Nice. Gosh, this one is awesome right here. James Logan Gordon. Now, I Googled this guy. Nothing really came up as far as any kind of figure, public figure or anything, but Reverend James Gordon. Gotcha. It's a reverend. It says on the front here. He died in the 50s. How nice this is. On the back side, I guess would be his wife. Her name's on the back. So they're together in here. That's why there's such a nice little site right here, because it was a reverend. Wow. I am thinking, the cemetery that I was in last week, Eternity Hills, I am thinking this place, or some of these graves at least, may be a smidge older than some of those at that when I was at last time. Over there at Eternity Hills, which is next door to this place. Geez, this is another mausoleum. I gotta look on the front side of that with that, but this one's interesting right here. Does this look like a little bench? Yep, it's someone's little stone, and it's a bench. Marie Louise, 1927, 1947. Chalmers, George, 1895, 1967. Marie Louise, 1900 to 1970. Wow. Crazy, because you don't see, like, a lot of these more modern cemeteries, you're not seeing a lot of these special stones and markers and, you know, construction of some of these mausoleums. You're not seeing this kind of like work anymore in the stonework in cemeteries. More modern cemeteries, they're all kind of got the same feel to them, but this place has got a lot of just unique markers and whatnot, and that's what I'm digging about this cemetery and a lot of the cemeteries out this way, is because this stuff is like, you don't see this stuff anymore. It's almost all like the more modern cemeteries, it's more like almost like cookie cutter kind of stuff where all the stones kind of look the same, but this one's just insane. Interesting. This big stone is blank, which means, and it's huge, which means that I guess it would be a family burial marker or a family plot, but it's actually nothing inscribed on either side. So I would assume, and it looks fairly new, so I would assume that they probably bought this and erected it. Now they just gotta, I guess, probably inscribe something on it when somebody finally does pass. This is interesting. Johnson, there's just the last name. Wow, we gotta go, that big old mausoleum right there, we gotta go check that one out. Duncan, Arthur Leonard on the front. And Marie Duncan on the back. I guess they're together. Husband and wife, I would assume. Man, look at this tree. This is a very hilly cemetery. This is an interesting one. John Timothy John Cox, February 21st, 1962, September 30th, 1987, young when he died. And Charles Joseph Puccinelli, August 29th, 1946 to January 2nd, 1995. And what's very interesting about this marker, on either side, it has one side, thanks for coming, and the other side it says, have a nice day, you know, with a smiley face at the bottom. Wow, look at this burial area. Look at the stonework in here. Gotta stay away from the sprinklers. They're shooting water everywhere. Maybe I'm gonna get nailed, but before I get nailed with the water. Look at this thing. This thing is just awesome. Incredible. I don't see any names on it or anything, or any actual maybe graves. There might be some in here. Kind of hard to. There's like some cement. I don't know if they're just walking stones or if they're actual grave markers. There's nothing on them. They're smooth. There's nothing inscribed on them. Let me get back here. Just trying to keep away from those sprinklers. Look at that. So silent, but you can hear the birds. I guess crows too, possibly. Look at this one stone. Very interesting, as it looks like the people's names that are inscribed in this, or who are in this grave. It's like a book at the top of it, and their names are all on there. Crazy. God, this is just beautiful here. This is one of the more impressive ones in this area that I've seen. Oh my goodness, this thing is awesome. It's got ivy grown over the name, so you can't make out the name, you just make out the last 3 or 4 letters of the last name because it has all this ivy overgrowth. Jeez. Like I said, a lot of these modern cemeteries are cookie cutter, but I love these old ones with some history, or maybe not even history behind them, but damn, in the center of this thing, there's a planter. This thing is huge. This thing has got a ton of people inside. I mean, there's wall to ceiling on all, like 3 of the walls here. There's just a bunch of people in here. And if not, they're blank. It's hard to tell. You guys can see and appreciate this. This is crazy. This thing is insane, but the one thing and there's still people putting flowers on this thing. I don't think it's a family thing because I'm seeing a lot of different last names in here, and I don't know if you can tell, there's a staircase right here off to the left that goes somewhere up inside this thing. It's huge. It goes up to the ceiling. Not all the little spots are filled. Not all the little spots are filled, but I don't know. It's a different last name, so I don't think it's a family thing. One goes back to 1916, someone died. And there's urns sitting in there too, in glass cases. Look at this one, looks like a table. The marker looks like a table. Wow. I'm just in love with this place. This place has got a lot of unique stuff. God, I even make it out? Lady Florence Emily Fermor Hasketh, daughter of William Sharon, died September 25th, 1924. And it's William Sharon, his name's at the very top there. So I did a little research on William Sharon. He was a United States senator, banker, and business owner from Nevada who profited from the Comstock lode. And I looked at the born dates and deceased dates, and this is definitely him. I guess residence says Virginia City. But I guess this was William Sharon, and that is his daughter. No wonder he's got such an awesome, grandiose deal here. And right next to it, it must be a relative, brother, or whoever, because this one is Frederick William Sharon. This place is actually really good size too, and it's got a lot of little different points of interest for me too, as far as some of the structures here. So this may be several vlogs. I may have to come back and do more vlogs from here if I don't see it all today, or if I'm not able to film it all today. Definitely got to come back. Now this definitely has to be one of the oldest cemeteries out here, because it's reminiscent of that one in Oakland that I did vlogs for not too long ago. It's just a lot of things built into the side of a hill. There's a lot of big, grandiose, unique things. This one is awesome. There's no name on the outside of it. Jeez. And you can't see inside, but as you can see, the door is got that special glass on it. This is insane. This is like one of the most elaborate ones that I've seen in a cemetery. Hard to see inside. Jeez. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know if we can get under the door at all to see the inside. There's gonna have to be another part to this video. If you're enjoying these videos, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're enjoying the channel, please hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon. Therefore, you can be notified of all of my future uploads. I'm gonna continue on here and probably film another vlog for another time.